Alright YouTubers, hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Bushi Doji and today we are going to be talking about Gladiator stance for the prop warrior. I gotta make a few apologies right now. My glare is a little bit off on my camera. I'll fix that later, and my microphone might be a little bit messed up too, but this is a video that I kind of really wanted to get out there more sooner than later. So what we're going to talk about specifically is in relation to the Gladiator stance in patch 6.0.3 for the protection warrior. There was a rumor going around that it was going to get nerfed, but even was posted up on MMO Champion as early as I think it was Monday night. I think I was getting text about that from my friends, and but it looks like they decided to go and not nerf anything. It actually buffed the hell out of Fury Warriors, so you'll be expecting a Fury Warrior video in the next couple of days as well. So what we're going to talk about today specifically is I'm going to go over spec setup, glyphs, stats, enchants, and rotation. Right now is a really good time for PvP for warriors in general. I know Arms and Fury have always, you know, people have been the flavor of the month for that, but actually I think Blizzard actually got this right in a lot of ways, so I'm actually enjoying playing it again. So let's get right into it. Alright, first things we're going to start out with is the specs, and a lot of your spec is going to have to do with the comps that you run. This is in relation to I'm running a lot of Battlegrounds and a lot of 2v2 arenas. So depending on what your partner setup is right now, I'm running a lot with a mage and a hunter. It's going to depend a lot on how you set your spec up. If you're running with a priest or any type of healer or druid, your spec would be set up a little bit more different to do a little bit more burst damage. I actually have a buddy of mine, Livik, who's a prop warrior too, who I'm going to strong arm into making a counter video on this and giving you his point, because I think he runs with another buddy of ours who is a disc priest. So let's get right into it. First of all, double time is a must in 2v2s because you're going to run into a lot of the flavors of the expansion, and they really are pushing hard for, I would say, hunters to be one of the top ones, and they are annoying. They are so annoying. If you can get on one, you can tear one up, but that's the problem. Easier said than done is getting on one. So having this double charge twice in a row is excellent, especially if you're trying to peel and keep your partner alive. Specifically, I'm running, like I said, right now with mage and a hunter, so this helps out a lot from then. In rage regeneration, you're more responsible for healing yourself and keeping yourself alive in there. So I find that comes in handy, especially when I have to go defensive and start backing away. That saved my life a couple of times right here. Heavy recuperation. This is a must, I feel, for myself. I really like it a lot. Gives you 30% extra damage while your shield block or shield charge is active. Really nice. Stormbolt is great for peeling. I know a lot of people want like Shockwave, but Stormbolt, especially if you're fighting a hunter and you want to keep him locked down, or a frost mage that's trying to kite and get away, that Stormbolt really comes in. Or like I said, if you're far away from your partner and he's got a DK in his face, Stormbolt might give him the extra time to go. I myself personally, I like Safeguard. You run at a high speed towards a party raid member, intercepting the next melee or range attack made against them. That's not really that important for me. Reducing the damage taken by them by 20% for 6 seconds, I think is huge. 20% for 6 seconds will make the difference in an arena game. It'll also help your partner get away and move around a little bit more. And the thing I like about it most is the 30-second cooldown. It's always up. I actually have a macro. I'll make a macro video probably tomorrow to show you all the macros that I move. But my buddy Zerdania is calling out for a safeguard about every 45 seconds, and also I'll show you in my macro video a little trick I've learned to help you use that as a third charge as well. Some people like vigilance, but you know what, it's only 10% more protection and it's got a 2-minute cooldown, so I really don't go with it. Avatar, here's another one that I like too. I used to be a night elf, but I transformed into a human to get that every man for himself break. But this avatar also helps you freaking go crazy for like 20% increased damage and removing all roots and snares on you. It's really helpful when you're fighting a druid or something like that as well. And also the most important thing that you got to get down with is Gladiator stance. And that's pretty much self-explanatory, man. Increases your damage by 20%, replaces shield block with shield charge. As you can see down here on my button, shield charge is up, go into defense, shield block is up. You should take the time too to make sure that you have your defensive stance set up as well, because sometimes when you go defensive, especially if you're fighting double DKs, you kill one, you got your hunter or your mage is still alive, but you're about to die, and you want to hold that DK still for a little while and let your two partner rail on him. Click over. You can't really do it during combat, but if you can manage to get out of combat somehow and eat and pop it up, it's pretty good. Or, you know, it's good sometimes if you just want to be annoying and go in as defensive stance when you know you're going to lose, like playing against like double pallies or some shit like that. Alright, so that is the talent tree. Take a screenshot of it, have it how it works. Like I said, my buddy Livic runs a different version of this because he runs with a priest, so he runs a little bit more DPS bursting on it with Bloodbath and a couple other things. But like I said, I'm going to strong arm him to make him come in and do the video of himself. So to counter. On this channel, we like to encourage you know, debate and conversation. If we can help you improve your gameplay by 1%, 5%, I think that's a win, and that makes it worth the time. And also, feel free to contact us in game if you want to. I'll put all the information in the comment section. Contact us in game and run some Battlegrounds with us and just chop it up. Have some fun. Alright, let's go into glyphs. Your minor glyphs is what I like to start with. They're all, you know, just for fun. Glyph of Bloody Healing is also pretty good. Increases the healing you receive from bandages by 20% while Deep Wounds is active. You'll probably hardly ever use that, but you never know if you might get a few extra ticks out of it. Glyph of Crows, I just think that's funny. And Glyph of Blazing Trail. You're not a warrior if you don't have this, man. Running so fast, leaving a trail on it. But I'll tell you one that I don't recommend, that I don't like, is Burning Anger. Is when you become enraged, you catch on fire. I think that tips your hands a little bit. As you can see on my UI, I don't like playing with any type of add-ons or anything like that. So I like to visually try to see what's going on with the guys that we're fighting. And if you saw a warrior just catch on fire, then you know he would be enraged, and you know you would want to not take that guy on right now, especially if you're a rogue. You can banish or back off, something like that. So I don't prefer tipping my hand when it comes to that. Major glyphs, these are the ones that I found have been the most useful to me. Somebody can, like I said, it's going to depend a lot on your gameplay. But Shield Slam dispels one magic effect. Yo, that's mandatory right there, son. If you don't have that right now, you're doing something incredibly wrong. That'll knock off a Fear Ward, that'll knock off a Hot, that'll knock off who knows what. I mean, it gets so hectic in there. So if you don't have that Glyph of Shield Slam up, go and get that on right now. You'll notice a big difference in your survivability. Glyph of Rude Interruption. I like this one myself because when you're in twos, when you're playing with twos and you're, you know, silencing and you're rotating a pummel or something like that, there's nothing nicer, I think, than interrupting a healing from a, you know, especially a Disc Priest, and that person not being able to do anything for like six. Oh, hold on. I got that wrong. Successfully interrupt a spell with pummel increases your damage by 6% for 20 seconds. I think that used to be changed, but I could be wrong about that. I do like that one though. Get a little pummel in there, get a little 6% increase on it, try to do a little damage on it, and get moving. Like I said, you can move that around a little bit as well. Your Heroic Strike now reduces the target's movement by 50% for 8 seconds. I don't use Heroic Strike unless it procs in a arena or a battleground, but I do use it. So when I do throw it up there, it does reduce the speed by 50% for 8 seconds, and that's pretty good, especially when it helps you if you like you said, if you're in with a guy that's your partner's trying to kite and get away. This will slow them down and keep things moving. So those are what I use. If you use something different, if you got something that you want to prove out, like I said, I'd like to know myself. Put it in the comments or hit us in game. Let's talk about that. Stats. A lot of people are still talking right now about the stat priority and everything like that. But what I've found that I've done is that everybody's talking about the 330 haste cap as well. Strength obviously is the main one you want to go with. I am stacking Critical Strike. I haven't put any high enchants on, blue enchants on my rings or anything, or my weapon, but I'm stacking a lot of crit. And this is still up to debate. I'll probably do another video when I get down more into the number section of it and see what's going on. I mean, multi-strike and versatility as well. As far as mastery as well, I'm torn between mastery and critical strike. I mean, mastery right now in this stance increases your chance to block by 5% and your chance to critically block by 17%. So that's why I'm going on the offensive a little bit about what to do. When I like the chance for, when critical strike gives me a chance for extra effectiveness on attacks and heals. So I like that. I'm leaning more towards that myself. Like I said, enchants I think is fairly simple. I'm going crit all the way across the board, except I'm still in debate about the my weapon enchant, the 500 mastery. I don't know if that'll be good for a warrior. It could be. We'll see. I think there's one for bleed that might be a little bit better. Like I said, it depending a lot on your style of play to go with it. So here we go. Let's get into the rotation, the most important thing right there. Get a little charge off here and get in there. Don't get killed by your tanking dummy over there. That's happened to me like 3 times, especially if you span a heroic strike that hits with both of them. Here's what I found to go into it. Number one, you can go online and you can see where people say that this is greater than this, this is greater than this, this is greater than that. But I like to go in here and hit it myself and see what works. Yes, there's different. If execute is up, use it. But like I said, I'm not spec'd for sudden death, so it's not going to pop until it's ready to pop. But if you go pure DPS style, like Libic's probably going to show you, when that's up, use that one. You want to start out, man, with the shield charge, hit that with the shield slam, hit with the revenge, and then start working at it, and then boom. Every time you get a proc, go with that. Like I said, I stay away from, unless I'm sitting at a pretty high amount of rage, I stay away from using shield, heroic strike. But right there you can see I'm rocking about 70 to 100 rage. I'll hit it, and then every time you get a proc with your heroic strike, you should rock that too. It's not on global cooldown, so you can double button mash and get that up fairly fast on it. Like I said, just rock that.
I can't do that.
So it's going to be shield charge, shield slam, revenge, and then if you're sitting at a high amount of rage, 100, you're going to work maybe 1, maybe 2 heroic strikes in there, and then go back into it again.
That ability isn't ready yet.
And then when you need it, rock that devastate. Devastate is something when you're all on cooldowns that you want to do. You don't want that to be your main attack. You're kind of working it mainly for the proc to come in.
That ability isn't ready.
And I'll show you one little tip here that I got as well that I've learned as soon as I let the things called down. And also I'll show you some in my macro videos. I'll show you some macros on how to pop your trinkets as well when you want to do massive burst and as things of that nature. So let's see, one more thing here. Boom. Shield charge. As you can see, it's up for 5 seconds, but you can use it twice. So right when it gets to go off on the 5 seconds, you can pop it again, except it's not ready for me to go. You can pop it again. Don't just hit it 2 times in a row. Give it about 4 or 5 seconds, and then the most cooldown you'll have to wait on that will probably be about 1 or 2 seconds before you can use it again as well. And plus, it gives you, if a guy's getting away from you, it also gives you that little bit of extra charge to help you get in there and help get a little bit closer and stay on top of your guy. Especially if they're backing away. When you're talking rogues, can be fairly annoying. Sometimes a resto shaman or something will try to run away. You can get a shield charge off on him, and you'll be good to go.
It's too far away.
So guys, that's all I really got for you right now.
I can't do that yet. That ability isn't
I hope you like this video. I'm gonna have to throw it together real quick. On my video editing software is acting a little bit funny. I gotta work it out.
that ability isn't
And when I do, I'll post that up. If you guys like it, give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll probably put that button up in one of these corners down here. Follow us on Twitch TV. Come hang out with us in some Battlegrounds. There's about 4 or 5 of us hanging out in there. One thing I can guarantee is that you will learn something, and you'll probably have a lot more fun than you would sitting around stressing yourself out. And we're a pretty good group of guys to hang out with. So, like I said, I'll do the macro video probably tomorrow and upload that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.